Good evening and tonight's game night. Getting ready for Skyblivion. This is a super sweet thing. If you want to go over and you have nothing better to do tonight and study Skyblivion, it's some great stuff. Getting ready for the game here in the future. The release will here in the year of 2025 for Skyblivion. Going over to the elderscrolls.com, you'll see the nice little cake design, the Elder Scrolls. It's like a Black Forest cake. It's pretty cool. Going down to the game development for the Elder Scrolls universe. Elder Scrolls universe is this is an old Tamriel map. And when you go further down, what I want you guys to do is I want you to look into the one-time payment of paying $19.99 just in case you get screwed up. This has been put in here for just in case and for the purpose if you don't understand what it means to buy the base game edition of ESO. This is a super sweet stuff. This might be a little different in the offline versions available for Elder Scrolls, so it's very important that you pay the one-time fee there on the elderscrolls.com. Elder Scrolls is a super fun game as we're in the Gates of Oblivion event that's going on that's being held to about the end of the month here of November. Then we're going to start over and go into the other DLCs that are involved with Skyblivion. The Skyblivion game is coming on really well. On the inside of the picture that you guys will see in the future, it looks absolutely amazing. You're going to absolutely love the picture. It's kind of like this color of this creamy black that's in here on the screen as you see me moving around the mouse pointer. It's about that color. It's a little blacker than this. You kind of see it with the Elder Scrolls cake piece up on the top of the elderscrolls.com. You can see it's more kind of that color. It's going to look really beautiful on the inside. The system is running 10 times better. It's earlier on today, the system was moving very slow. And for the purpose of that, things have to be done, and hopefully they'll get taken care of. I'm hoping to get the necessary devices and tools prepared here for Skyblivion. I'm gonna go off of the screen and get ready to go into Skyblivion mode. I'm gonna go and take a quick break, and I'm hoping you're gonna have a fun game night tonight. Be right back. All right, we are back over this. If you want to join along, make sure you have your Steam account logged in because I'm not sure what is going to happen when we go into Steam. So this is a very important thing for you guys to be logged into your Steam account because you'll be able to see the same thing that I see, which is the important thing. We all want to see the same thing of what is in the screen. That's the important thing. This is a nice little looks like a Blackwood cake. I call it Black Forest cake design. It's a really sweet looking cake. Okay, so going further down, this is the Tess is the game development for the Elder Scrolls universe. This is an old mapping system for Tamriel. This is a super sweet thing of what we're getting ready for. What's been mapped out before is the little pinpointed location of High Isle. As you can see this little spot that I'm kind of circling with the pointer. Well, what we're doing is we're gearing towards going to what's called Skyblivion, with the two areas of Skyrim and Cyrodiil. Over here in the first DLC, you're going to be seeing some more information right here, where we're going to be really honing in on the area of Riften within the first DLC, and which this is becoming more apparent of what the first DLC of Skyblivion is kind of looking like. We're going to key in on the town of Riften. We'll key into more of the land plots and points within Skyrim later on. For right now, we're kind of looking at the area right here to the east here of Skyrim. And so what we're going to do right now is we're going to go into the first DLC, the first look of the DLC. So if you want to follow along, scroll down, kind of trying to go as slow as I can here for those of you guys to see what's going on, to where you can do the same thing. Make sure you have your Steam account logged in, because you won't be able to see the same information that those of us that do have the information prepared. As you can see, this is the Scream game list that is always a positive going into looking at what the different DLCs and the different games within Elder Scrolls game series are. Super sweet. As you can see, there's Blackwood, Greymoor, Scalebreaker, Moons of Elsewhere, Blades, High Isle, Cyrodiil / Tamriel. I don't know why I put in Cyrodiil / Tamriel, but we have Somerset, Murkmire, Scrapes of Fate, Horns of the Reach, Elsewhere, Legends, blah 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 blah. Going down to the first DLC, you might have thought Stonethorn was the first DLC, but this heads over into what's called Skyblivion, the first DLC of Skyblivion. So clicking over here on the first, that's a good place to start, as it's kind of will be noticeable for you guys later on when you start thinking of Skyblivion. Just go right here to over on the elderscrolls.com so you don't get messed up. So right over here, just by like clicking on Skyblivion beta, it doesn't work. So what we have to do is we have to click on the first DLC. This is the important thing. What are we going to see? So clicking on here, and this is good. This is good because the video isn't playing just yet. It will. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to just kind of play this here real quick. You can play it on your screen on the big screen, or you can keep it down to where it's in the small screen. This is the Greymore trailer, and just this will give us kind of pinpoint what's going on inside of the game, inside of Greymore, as we look further in and getting to Riften. So what are these guys doing going down inside of a cave? This is them throwing a torch down inside of a cave inside of Tamriel. Now, is this outside of Riften or is this the beginning to where these guys were fighting before, like a reenactment of from the past? Or what's going on inside of the screen here to where these warriors are going into some place they shouldn't be? That's an interesting thought of why these guys are going inside to the cave. The other side would never mess with the outside in the regular land if these guys would not have gone in. So this is an important thing to kind of key in on what's going on in the game, to where we kind of understand the mindset of what's happening, to where we're gearing to the second DLC, leading towards the second DLC. So we're going to start this here really quick, where I am going to mute the music and kind of get into what the game kind of sounds like. So I turned that off, and now what's going to go on here is we're gonna kind of little sneak preview of what's going on inside of the first DLC. What a great thing. As you can see, June 9th is coming up here in 2026. What were those guys doing? What did Mr. Vampire why did he wake up all those beautiful blue creatures? That's an interesting thing. Why the all those blue creatures were woke up, and they have to go back in their little shell and then sleep and be all happy while they're sleeping. But the guys went in there for what reason? That's an interesting thought of what's going on, and I'm not for sure on that end right there. This is getting some get of what's going on with the first DLC, getting us ready for the game. Not like a real movie. You're like, whoa, wow. So what's the dungeon DLC and story DLC? Not for sure, because this is the new inner makings of the game. So we're just going with that. And as you can see, there's lots of information here of where you can go to getting to Skyblivion, as there's tons of information going from theelderscrolls.com to where you go to the first DLC. You'll see this in here, and where the Greymore expansion pack, where you have the downloadable content for the game to where you can download. Also with this, you can go over in from the action games over to the Elder Scrolls Online Skyblivion, which I'm just going to click on here right now, and switching over to Skyblivion. Just leave this on here. Wow. That's like going out of a tunnel, getting ready for a game. Wow. Sure is beautiful. So we're in Skyblivion now, and what's going on with Skyblivion? Hmm. Well, there's some information here. The game is just in beta currently. Says here, game requires base game to play. Not currently known as how the linking system will run. So this is a good step towards going further on the total linking process. That's an important part for us to link the game, the total game. That's not totally complete yet, but we're getting there. We're just in beta form right now, and the game is set to be released on June 6th of 2025. As you can see by going over into the elderscrolls.com, you can go over to the first DLC, and then you can switch on over to the Elder Scrolls Online Skyblivion, and this shows you basically the completed form of the game that's being completed right now. In here in the system, I want you guys to go further down. If you are in the system and are able to, I want you to go down to this place right here where it says early access game, and to where you can read more information about the early access of the game. This is not only going to help us develop Skyblivion, but this is going to help us develop castles as well. This is about the same setup that would be for castles. But right now, what we're doing is we're preparing for Skyblivion, and to where you can read more, and you can know a little bit more about how the system works. What I want you guys to do is I want you to go into where it says report bugs and leave feedback for this game on the discussion boards. Right in here where it says see all discussions. That's an important thing. So those of you that are going into the discussion board, that's a great thing. Thank you very much. And those of you that are not logged into a channel right now to where you're not getting recorded, what I want you to do is I want you to turn off your channel and then go back into the channel, log into your channel, and then come back in. That's an easy way to where we can develop the game better. This is some great stuff. There's reasons why some of this stuff is on here. It's can help us grow. So about this game, Skyblivion is an award-winning game. I really, really believe that Skyblivion is just going to skyrocket once the time comes. As right now, we're just preparing little by little, where you see little bits and pieces of information that's gonna help you guys out. So I'm kind of feeling like Skyblivion here in the online form is starting to really form, and I'm feeling confident that you guys will be able to share this page as this develops for those of you that have gone into the Steam system. The Steam system is a multi-user system that can be developed in multiple channels. It's a great way to get involved with family and friends. You're gonna love this when you understand that this is both connected to both Microsoft and Apple and Steam. This is basically the only game in Elder Scrolls that will show you all three levels of the major systems that are available for you guys to use, whether you're using just Windows, Mac OS, or a Steam OS with Linux. This is an important thing to realize, that you don't want to get every system. You don't want to get a Windows system, Mac OS system, a Steam OS, and Linux system. You just don't need all of the computerized systems to make something work. You just need to be in one set system. And so I'm trying to ingrain this in the minds of many. So what I'm explaining is, if you are just a Microsoft person, just go into the Windows and look at the system requirements in the Windows. There's plenty of information, and the company doesn't want to bring out all of the information on the different systems. That's kind of the reason why Steam OS with Linux has never really been presented before until now. So over here in Skyblivion, you'll kind of start understanding a little bit more of what the system requirements are, either in Windows, Mac OS, or Steam OS. There is a Steam OS, and if you don't understand that, don't worry about it. Don't worry about what the Steam OS requirements are if you don't have a Steam machine. What I'm going to explain, if you are an Apple user, go into the Mac OS and get just the Mac OS. That's what I'm explaining for your own better good. If you think you have to have like every little device to make things work, that's not so. What you want to do is you want to ask another person what you would be good at. Most people will say, well, I don't know. Like, well, what do you think? And that's what I'm asking you right now, is what system do you think you'll be working on? What device are you on right now? And that's an important part. So if you have an Android, for example, where do you think other people are gonna direct you on getting a better system, or like a complete system to play the game, or to better yourself in life? Where do you think I'm gonna direct you if you have an Android? I'm gonna direct you over to the Windows system requirements. That's pretty easy. I'm not going to go over all of the systems that are available. I'm just going to go in right now, looking at here at the system requirements um, of in Windows. Let's see here if this shows all of this. There we go. So the system requirements here for Windows, this is kind of boring for most people. If you are looking to get a complete system, and if you've ever thought about this, most people do think about like what is the end system that I'll be getting? Like what system end system are you going to actually look forward to getting? Getting an end system is not only rewarding, but it's also very expensive. And so if you're looking at a Windows system, for example, this is the best way, the best possible scenario that the company has presented. And so this is what I'm going to suggest. There's a minimum and there's a recommended. You can get like a laptop or a desktop that's state of the art, but also there are desktops that are available for where you can like starter kits that will help you out. Now if you're looking at an end complete system, you're going to want to save up to getting the recommended. But if you're like dire need, just like right now, I got to get this tomorrow, you're going to have the minimum requirements, as you will be able to get the tools later on. There will be some bugs if you just go to the minimum. So what I'm explaining, if you're looking and you say, I've got to get the best. Most people will be like, yeah, you're going to get the best. You're not going to get everything, all the bells and whistles just yet. But if you want to get all the bells and whistles, you're going to want to look over on the right-hand side. All of this stuff is very, very, very expensive. And so if you're looking at, you just have an Android, just start out small. Just start paying for a monthly fee and a one-time fee. Over in the website of things, you always have to pay for a setup fee and a monthly fee. And so what I'm making it kind of clear and easy to understand, because all of this stuff in the system requirements to actually play some of the Elder Scrolls games, this is what it takes. And this is very valuable information that will process your information that you're running inside of your system. Not everybody's going to get the best system in the world because they're too expensive. Getting a best Microsoft desktop in the world, you're gonna spend quite a bit of money, because you're going to want to get one of the best. So you can process the information at a higher level. Getting a fancy computer is not what it's all about. What it is about is being able to see the screen and seeing the screen work. That's the important thing to understand. You're not going to have to understand all of the components, such as which version is your minimum using, where my recommended is using. It's not that. And so getting an actual computer that will run the game is not necessarily what you'll be looking at over in Steam. Now, if you want to just play the game, for example, you just want to play the game. If you are looking to just play the game and you're not going to get a Steam console, what I'm going to suggest for those of you that will be able to get this get this type of system in the future is very, very easy. It's very inexpensive, and what I'm explaining with the lower devices, they'll play your game just like the fancier, like more advanced machines that it takes to run the important systems, to where we can actually grow the system. We can build the different parts of lands in Tamriel. If you're looking to become a developer inside of Elder Scrolls, you're going to want to get this processing system. If you are specifically dealing with Microsoft, you're going to want to get the up-to-date versions. And getting the up-to-date versions, you're going to want to pretty much get a brand new computer. Getting a refurbished computer is good, but you have to go to a place that is knowledgeable about the processing systems. And so I'm explaining here right now for those of you that are looking to get into Elder Scrolls. This is like when you like hardcore gaming, you're gonna want to have some of the best equipment. You're not gonna have to get every little bits and pieces of the devices. All of these devices are starting to come a little bit more clearer, such as like the VR support. It's a possibility that there is going to be some VR support. There are VR games available inside the different Elder Scrolls game series. However, that's not important right now. What you're going to want to understand is if you just have an Android, you can go get yourself an Xbox. So I'm going to further explain the kind of the recommended of what I'm recommending if you have an Android and you're looking to play Skyblivion. What I'm going to recommend to you guys that only have Androids that you're using currently, you're going to want to get an Xbox. And Xboxes are very, very inexpensive. They're not that expensive as you would think. Some of the refurbished models you can get around from $250 to $500. It's not that expensive to where if you were to get one of the top of the line Microsoft computers, you'll be spending over $500. And what I'm explaining to those of you that only have Android, of those that are looking to play the game, you're not going to want to get a state-of-the-art computer where you can get a regular Xbox to play the game. That's an important thing. Xboxes are very sturdy and they will play great. Now, as far as like the streaming end on Xboxes, if you're just looking to play the game, you're not going to want to try to stream on the Xbox. There's certain purposes for the reasons why Xboxes and PlayStations have streaming capabilities. It's for the purpose of development inside of Elder Scrolls games. And right now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a quick break, as I've kind of like explained in a large nutshell. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a quick break, as this stuff is getting really ingrained. And so I'm going to take a quick break. Hopefully you're enjoying game night, and I will be right back. Just got back in here, and this is a great thing right here in the system. What I want you guys to do is I want you to discuss inside of the system. This is what the system inside of here is specifically for you guys to discuss of what's going on the inside of the game for the character designs, the of what goes on inside of Skyblivion. What I want you to do is to go where it says "See all discussions" and discuss what kind of character you're thinking about making or creating. It's a beautiful system inside, and just discussing on what game set you're gonna get involved with is a great thing. This is a great thing to get involved with on the discussion end of the game. This is an absolute beautiful thing. This is the first step of learning about the game, in which this information has just came in earlier today of the knowledge of the game, of where the game is coming from. The one area that's being discussed, which I would like more discussions to go in about the game in the first DLC, is around Riften and Windhelm and the development of the different lands. When you play on a system such as an Xbox, you're gonna love seeing the different things that are being made, the different character sets, the different scenery that's being built in the game. This is an absolute like eye-opening experience, and learning about the eastern corners of Skyrim is going to teach us a lot about the different designated places within the game in Skyblivion. The lore is going to take a long time to develop on what's going on inside of Windhelm and Riften, and the different places throughout the the areas within the eastern parts of Skyrim. And the first DLC is the important part to start concentrating on, because this is the current time in which the first DLC is being made. During this very current time that I'm even speaking, we're developing inside of the system to where we can get into the main side of the game inside of Cyrodiil, which is a long ways to go to where the third DLC comes in. This is an important thing. It shows that the update has just been put in on 11/22 of 23. This is some great information, learning more about the first DLC. If you have any questions about how to get back in to where it shows here about this game, by pressing the visit the website, it will take you into the elderscrolls.com, where you can get back into here, such as the first DLC or the main side of Skyblivion. So with that, that's some pretty good stuff, and about as far as the system is prepared right now. So this is kind of really good time to get into the discussion end of where what Skyblivion is. I'm gonna press on the discussion button here and see what there is. And right here it shows here this hub is hidden to the foot. But since your intermediate is visible to you, you can precede the key, blah 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 blah. So I don't know where you guys are gonna where this is gonna land you guys inside of this, but I'm sure there's tons of information that you guys will be able to go into as the community end, where like going here on the discussions board. that's available for you guys to look into. I'm just going to click on the discussions board as it shows here. Welcome to the Steam discussions. Everyone is invited, and that's the truth. Everyone is invited, and you want to make sure that you go to the Elder Scrolls Online discussions of where you can discuss where the happenings of Skyblivion. See here, because it right here, if you just click on a new to Steam or helps and tips, suggestions, ideas, Steam discussions, Steam for Mac, Steam Mobile, Steam Community, this might not take you over into the Elder Scrolls Online part of Skyblivion. As you see, there's some different discussions which in here, which looks like it's Russian or Bulgarian. The system involves about every language on Earth. So if you're looking to get into like going to another country, this is a perfect opportunity for you guys to learn where the different countries are speaking about the game. So in here, right here, of what you want to do is you want to go into where it shows the Elder Scrolls Online, the discussion threads that are available. I'm just going to click here on seeing what the different game forums there are. Looks like there's a couple different games, which there's thousands of games, honestly, within here. Tools and servers. There we go. Tools and servers. There's a forum for the dedicated server to Windows. There's a dedicated server to Linux. There's a Half-Life dedicated server to Windows. The Half-Life dedicated server to Linux. So if you're looking to go into the Half-Life dedicated server, this is kind of where you have a little bit of knowledge with both Windows and Apple. If you're going into the Half-Life dedicated server, you're not going to probably understand a lot of the information. That's why I'm suggesting that you only go with one system if you're looking to discuss in a certain system. You will, if you are just over on like the Android, if you just have an Android device, like I had spoken before, you're going to want to go into the dedicated server to where it shows Windows, because pretty much all Androids are a Windows product. Android doesn't do it all, but this will lead you in further into Microsoft, and that's an important part. Also, with the source art and sound design, there's all sorts of information and plenty of things to get involved with. Every kind of little thing that involves life is in here in the system. This is the important thing that will help you become more literate within the system. And so I'm just going to click on the Elder Scrolls Online discussion board. Looks like here there is, and there's a lot of questions that are asked and a lot of questions that are answered, and this is where you'll get your answers by you either asking a question or by you discussing by something that you love, something in Skyblivion that you're interested in, whether you're talking about a specific town such as Riften. You can just write in a discussion saying Riften, and then writing out something about or what's going on inside of Riften and what you see in your gameplay. There's all sorts of game sets you can get involved with in the Elder Scrolls Online, and Skyblivion is one of them. This is an important step. All you have to do is just, if you're new, you might not be able to start a new discussion. You might just be able to go into the discussion boards a little bit. When I first started out in Steam, I just actually replied the messages. I didn't even know what I was doing, and everybody is very welcoming inside of Steam. So if you will not feel left out when you go into the system. If you feel stupid or dumb, don't feel stupid or dumb, because everybody has a question that they want answered, and inside of these discussion boards, you'll get your answer eventually if you don't get it right away. There's multiple users in the system, and usually a user will respond immediately, like within a matter of like 20 seconds or like within 30 minutes. The discussion boards go very quickly, and there's a lot of discussions, and once the discussion board gets filled up, that's when the discussion is called closed. And then we can look at the different writings that are throughout the discussions, because with learning with the discussion board is going to help us learn how our devices work. This is the whole reason for Steam, is to bring knowledge into the working systems that we work on, whether it be Microsoft, Apple, or Steam OS. This is some great stuff, and you will learn a ton of information. Looking in here, I'm just going to see if there's anything here for Skyblivion. Okay, so this is the first thing that comes up here in the discussion board of Oblivion Remake Remaster. Never been into these discussions before. It says, what is this 5 gig patch? It says here, like 5 years following the Skyrim co-op mod, and it was still never fully released and ran badly. What happened to Skyblivion? The Morrowind one? These modders spend a decade and still don't release them. So there's getting some more information on Skyblivion. As you can see, there's in the green, this is where the information of Skyblivion's kind of coming in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to click on the green the green Skyblivion and see what we come up with. Okay. Okay, so this hasn't got totally linked, but there's more information coming in for Skyblivion, as the user Siren San wrote, well, there is actually a project for this, not from Besta, but a work of fans. Look for Skyblivion. Then Syringe wrote from the original posted by Vixis. Obviously, this expansion was testing the water for people's interest in the 4th game. So when is the remaster coming? So as you guys can see, June 6th of 2025 is when the Elder Scrolls Skyblivion is going to come in, and so that answers that question. Right here, what Syringe wrote is from the discussion in which was posted from Vixis. This is the thoughts on what Syringe is writing off of the thought that coming from this. This is some great stuff, and this will teach us a lot. Syringe wrote, hardly if you see Blackwood as a test for people's interest in test 4, then the Morrowind chapter was a test for people's interest in test 3. The Morrowind chapter was released years ago and was quite successful. So in that scenario, people's interest in test 3 was proven. But do you see test 3 remaster? No. Todd Howard has often been asked about remastered. So far, he has consistently said, I believe that the old games should stay as they are. He could change his opinion, of course, but so far there is no indication that he has or ever will. Part of the problem may be that the engine used in Test 3 and Test 4 is quite unwillingly beast. It's highly customized and expanded version of the NetImmerse / Game Brio engine, which was always known to be inefficient but cheap. On top of that already inefficient code base, Vesta built huge additions like a proprietary scripting system that is basically its own programming language. This makes a remaster difficult and expensive to produce. The team would have to dive into an old, outdated, complex, not cleanly programmed engine that no one has any experience with anymore. And that's why I'm suggesting, if you're just looking to play the game, get an Xbox and you can play the game and you don't have to worry about the more complex things that getting the systems to running, like adding in a new imp inside of the game. That's more work than most know of getting a character into the game, into the scenery where the animations move. This is some interesting stuff. Looking into what the different guys have written in the discussion pieces, in the discussion boards of getting ready for Skyblivion. This is inside of the Elder Scrolls Online. Making a new discussion. We want to go and we want to be specific on what discussion we're discussing. What I'm suggesting and making a certain discussion board, just write something about Riften in Skyblivion. See what happens to what the Elder Scrolls Online community actually writes. This will bring a lot of ideas and thoughts and growth within the game, to where we kind of have more knowledge of how the game is going to be looked. It's going to be looking very similar to Elder Scrolls 5. Inside of Elder Scrolls Online, on the Greymoor chapter, you're going to see a very similar graphics to where you see on the regular Elder Scrolls 5. Over in Test Online, you're going to see some similar things that of how they look. However, it's going to be a little bit different because the graphics are different. And so when we're thinking about the offline version of Skyblivion and the online version of Skyblivion, we're kind of looking here in the discussions on how the game is being played, where the lore is in the game currently. And so that's what I'm explaining with the need to create more quests inside of the game for the Elder Scrolls Online Skyblivion. The quests coming in to where you talk about the quest that you've gone through, or you might be talking about the town of Riften. I'm not for sure if Riften, if you can specifically go into Riften right now, because I haven't gone specifically into Skyblivion yet. I can go in there, but however, It's not known yet because I'm just specifically playing in high. So going in there and you guys going in and discussing, this is going to explain to me that you got that Skyblivion is growing inside of the system. When I see different things on Skyblivion on how they're working, I know there's users that are gearing better in the game. So this is the early stages of Skyblivion, and when you get further into the game, you're going to understand why you want to go over into the elderscrolls.com and searching the first DLC to where you can start discussing more of the quests within Greymore, and that will produce a better effect for the game, to where when we get led over into the second DLC, we can start building upon the quests in the second DLC. For this current time with the first DLC, we want to have the quests become more noticeable, such as over in the Gates of Oblivion event that's going on right now with Burdensome Beasts. This will make a better set for us having the discussion board getting on board for the game in the chapter of Goldmore. This is going to be some really good stuff, whether it comes out from Windhelm or Riften or one of the other minor towns that are in the chapter. So that's a lot in a nutshell of what's being talked about. I'm going to take a quick break. Hopefully you're having a good game night and you're learning a lot. What I want you guys to do is go into the discussion board and start talking about the chapter in Greymore. I'll be right back.